Welcome to the Power Down Live Lounge from the Franklin Delray Beach Pickleball Classic, sponsored by the Women's Power Pickleball League.
I'm here with Dereck Prince, certified referee for the Franklin Delray Beach Pickleball Tournament, and we're sitting in the Power Lounge that is sponsored by the Women's Power Pickleball League, and we have some great conversation that we're going to have, so everyone stay tuned, and we're going to roll right into it. Dereck, thanks so much for being here again with us today.
You're very
welcome. You and I have had some time to spend off court and talk a little bit about what's going on, so I know that our fans and listeners really want to hear a couple of things and some of the observations that I've made. So tell me a little bit about the line calling etiquette, because you know this is competition. Temperaments can fly, and we have all age groups that are in this particular tournament. Give me a little bit of what's going on in that world and how it works on your behalf when you're observing something and you need to actually step in, and then give us an idea of etiquette that you've noticed.
Good. The rulebook is very specific in terms of how line calls are made. The rulebook says that you must see a space between the line and the ball to call the ball out. Okay. Otherwise, the ball is assumed to be in. Mm-hmm. It's not good enough for you not to see the ball and then assume the ball went out. You have to see that space. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that in tennis, for example, the ball will squash down flatter when it hits the ground.
On the hash line.
On the line, yes.
Right.
In pickleball, it does not. And so you must see that space between the ball and the line to call the ball out.
And does that become a bone of contention often?
Yes, unfortunately it does. And again, the rule says if you didn't see it, assume the ball is in.
So yesterday when I was watching one of the final tournaments matches last night, I noticed that there was a call that was made, and it was the serving side, and they were very upset over the fact that how it appeared to be out of the line. The other side didn't agree with that. But they actually sat back and agreed that, okay, they came to a conclusion, so they were very cordial about it. But I could see how that can be a really big problem. And so when they're not being refereed, you step into the picture. How do you finish or call it? What do you do?
Well, I simply quote the rule. I simply quote the rule, and the rule again is very specific. The team side on which the ball landed, that team has responsibility and the authority to make that call.
Can they call for a do-over?
No. Unfortunately not.
Okay. So when they were asking for that, technically that's not in the rule book.
That is correct.
All right, everyone, did you hear that? There is no redos in pickleball.
Online calls.
Online calls, that is.
There's a redo on a hinder, for example. If a ball comes on the court while you're playing, then yes, we redo that rally. And there are a few other instances where you redo. For example, if someone commits a foot fault and you don't agree with your opponent, you're allowed to redo that rally.
Maybe that's what I was observing. What was that last one that you called?
On a foot fault.
A foot fault.
If you commit a foot fault on the no volley zone line and I suspect you did, and you say, no, I didn't, then since we can't resolve it, we do replay the rally.